Citrus County community is still shocked after two middle school boys were underground digging a tunnel in the sand when it collapsed on top of them, killing one of the boys. Yeah, the other teen remains in critical condition at this hour. It happened on Sunday at Sportsman Park in Inverness. News Channel 8's Alessandra Young joins us live with more on the two boys who were involved in this terrible story.
Josh, the entire community is absolutely devastated and heartbroken over this tragedy. People have been coming to this area here to pay their respects and just recently put up this cross in the area where the two teens were digging holes when the sand collapsed on them. Now, according to social media for one of the families, the parents of George Watts says they're still waiting for his final walk to be scheduled. That post identified the two boys as Derek Hubbard, who has since passed away, and Watts.
When you go to your mailbox, you look down the road, he's there. When they get off the school bus, when they go to the park, you see these kids every day and never even occurs to you something like this could happen.
The Inverness community is rooted in heartbreak as they mourn the loss of one 14-year-old boy when he and a friend were playing outside. They're currently trying to wrap their heads around losing another.
There's no support group for this. You know what I mean? It wasn't a car accident. It wasn't even a tragedy in the sense that you can even compare it to something else. These are boys being boys.
One of the family's Facebook posts says they're waiting for the final walk to donate the organs of the second boy, George Watts, and named his best friend that has already passed away as Derek Hubbard.
The kids all knew them. They loved them. They loved, hanging out with them.
Both boys were students at Inverness Middle School. Crisis teams have been at the schools trying to help students and staff grieve.
The students just wanted to talk and talk about the situation and talk about the memories. They were laughing, they were crying, they were going through lots and lots of different emotions.
By all accounts, the boys were best friends, loved to play basketball, and were very involved in school. One of their neighbors in the area says they would see all the kids playing every day.
By default, they become an extension of your family because you see them every day.
The school district says the Education Foundation is helping the families to try and get through this unthinkable time.
When you look at young students that have a whole life ahead of them, it breaks my heart. Like, it hurts my heart to see things like this happen.
The school district tells me they will continue to have resources available to anyone who needs them. Josh?
Yeah, just an awful story. Alessandra, did the sheriff's office have any updates on how that tunnel collapsed? Anything about the tunnel itself?
Yeah, so I asked the sheriff's office earlier today for any updates, and they say right now they just don't have any information for us. And, like you said, this is just an absolute tragedy here tonight.
The second Citrus County teen trapped in a hole collapsed on him, and a friend died this morning. 14-year-old George Watts was pronounced legally dead yesterday morning. He received an honor walk at the hospital this morning with his friends and family around him. His parents chose to donate his organs. George and his friend Derek Hubbard were digging a tunnel in the sand at a park in Inverness when that tunnel collapsed on them. Hubbard died on Sunday.
Good evening, I'm Ty Russell.
I'm Allison Henning. Thank you for joining us. The family of a Bradenton High School student killed after being hit by a CSX train is turning their grief into advocacy.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says 17-year-old Jamar Bond was walking to school on the railroad tracks when he was struck by a train. News Channel 8's Victoria Lucas spoke to the teen's mother today.
A mother's youngest and only son gone too soon with his whole life ahead of him. The mother of Jamar Bond says she was looking forward to so much with her son, who, though a teenager, was still her baby.
And I was really looking forward to his 18th birthday, him graduating, and him being successful in life.
These are the milestones Jewel McMillan hoped and dreamed of for her 17-year-old son, Jamar Bond.
He was a protector. He liked to goof around, make you laugh.
McMillan stood alongside family members and Pastor Elvis Piggott of the Triumph Church of Tampa, detailing Thursday's tragedy.
I had a deputy come knock on my door and tell me that my son had an accident. And I asked him what type of accident did he have. And he said he was hit by a train.
According to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the Bradenton High School junior was headed to school around 8:30 in the morning when he was struck by a CSX train. They say he was walking along the railroad tracks near Lakewood Drive in foggy conditions and tried jumping out of the way. Bond was taken to Tampa General Hospital in critical condition. He died the next day. Deputies say they found headphones at the scene of the crash.
It's just so hard for us.
Bond's great aunt, Conchita Canty Jones, says Bond had lost his father when he was just 8 years old. But despite that, he grew to become a protector with big aspirations.
An engineer, he wanted to work in the health field, and he even went a step further by knowing what they do, salary, and all those things.
The family now searching for closure.
And I just want my baby to be laid to rest.
As the sheriff's office continues to investigate this incident, the family says they are working on a way to honor Bonds' memory while also helping kids and teens in the community. We did reach out to the school district to see if they will be providing counseling services to students this week, and at this point are waiting to hear back. Reporting in the Tampa News Center, Victoria Lucas, 8 on your side.
A double shooting at a medical lab in Bradenton. One person is dead, another hospitalized. Good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us this evening. The victims were both employees at the lab. That lab is located in the 5200 block of 4th Avenue Circle East. News Channel 8's Allison Henning joins us live from Bradenton with the latest. Allison.
Jen, Keith, police say multiple 911 calls started coming in just before 1 o'clock this afternoon, and within just minutes, officers were inside the building here behind me. Witnesses on scene were told help police zero in on a vehicle possibly involved in this case. Crime tape surrounds this small Bradenton business plaza after 2 women were shot in the middle of the day. One of the women died at the scene, the other taken to Blake Hospital as a trauma alert. Investigators have been on scene for hours gathering evidence in and around the medical lab where the shooting happened. We're told both victims worked here.
This was not a building that had patients, but you'll see right next door to it, you know, there were people visiting dentists nearby. We had a lot of people that heard the shooting. So it's incredibly scary.
Because this was a busy public area, officers say they treated the call as an active shooter response with all hands on deck. Witnesses helped identify a possible vehicle involved, and within just 22 minutes of the initial call, officers tracked it down in Palmetto, taking a man into custody for questioning. As of now, the shooter's motive is unknown.
It's very likely that the shooter may have been here for a reason. Whether the 2 women who were shot were specifically targeted, that's not something we know at this point.
And of course, this is an active investigation at this point. As soon as we learn more details about the victims in this case and the possible suspect in this case, we of course will bring that to you both on air and online at WFLA.com. For now, reporting live in Bradenton, Allison Henning, 8 on your side.
A fugitive wanted in connection with a cold case is back in Manatee County tonight. As News Channel 8's Alessandra Young reports, Irving Zuniga is accused of shooting and killing an 18-year-old in 2019, then dumping his body and running for another place out of the country.
The sheriff's office tells me the suspect made a costly mistake which helped them in tracking him down all the way to Mexico City.
Glad for the sake of the family and some closure in this case for all those that had to deal with knowing that this guy was on the run.
Back in June of 2019, Jesus Molina's body was found along 61st Street East. The sheriff's office says there was a house party along Martin Luther King Place in Palmetto, where witnesses say Molina and the suspect, Irving Zuniga, got into an argument, which led to Molina being shot in the head.
We had good witnesses telling us that Zuniga was the one who had killed our victim. He didn't notify law enforcement. Instead, he tried to cover it up, took the body, dumped the body at that location where it was discovered, and that was back in 2019.
The sheriff's office knew who they were looking for all this time, but say Zuniga not only left the state, but the country.
After all this time, it was determined that he was in Mexico City, a very large place, millions and millions of people, and we had a good address. And with the help of the FBI and authorities in Mexico, he was apprehended.
Detectives say around 6 months ago, they caught a break on Zuniga's whereabouts.
Oftentimes these suspects, they make mistakes because they're gone, but they want to have contact, and they get on phone calls and they end up saying things, and they bring attention to themselves because it's hard to run and stay hidden unless you take on a whole new life.
Zuniga is being held in jail here in Manatee County on no bond for a second-degree murder charge. In Manatee County, I'm Alessandra Young, 8 on your side.
Well, have you gotten a flat tire in Valrico recently? What if it wasn't an accident?
Yeah, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says someone has been spreading nails all across a busy roadway because of a grudge against law enforcement. News Channel 8's Ryan Arbogast spoke with some pretty angry neighbors and has the latest.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says this was no accident. This was a man with a plan. It's a sound drivers along Miller Road have heard since last September.
I would be highly surprised if there was under 300 or 400 victims when this is all said and done.
A tire shop's dream. Nail after nail after nail, so much steel. News Channel 8 viewers could not stop sending us pictures.
I said I had 3 nails the first day. A week later, another 1 or 2, and it was about a nail a week minimum.
Lauren Sherripp says her cleaning business is falling flat because of multiple cancellations thanks to this man, 51-year-old Felix Oresti. He's accused of dumping thousands of nails in his Valrico neighborhood.
Oh, it's killed my business. It has absolutely killed it. I killed myself for 2 years straight, 7 days a week building this and have an amazing record. But when you have to constantly cancel or change appointments, that has a massive effect on your business as a whole, your reputation, everything.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office saying their investigation into this sharp case of criminal mischief began in September. And it's nowhere near over.
We've had 3 on my car and 2 on my husband's.
Neighbors are getting so deflated, they picked up the pieces themselves by the bagful. In this area near Miller Road, flat tire days became the new sick days.
I had to take personal days for going to the dealership.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office saying the final nail in the coffin was surveillance. They tracked Oresti, watched him scatter the scrap, and found him with a bucket of leftovers. After he was arrested Tuesday, Oresti told deputies someone was following him, and he was frustrated with law enforcement.
Find a different hobby or pastime. Maybe a less expensive one. I don't know.
Let's just say the only person feeling flat tonight is Oresti. He's facing numerous felony and misdemeanor charges relating to 27 different reports. Reporting in Valrico tonight, Ryan Arbogast, 8 on your side.
A wild scene this morning in Pinellas County. A dump truck tears down power lines, snaps a utility pole, and then just keeps on moving. Troopers are now on the hunt for the driver. Meanwhile, some businesses are without power as the crews work to fix the mess. News Channel 8's Victoria Lucas joins us now live with more on the story there. Victoria.
Josh, I've got some good news. The power has been restored. The crews that were here earlier this morning, they've since left. You can still see some of the wreckage here. Take a look right beside us. You see there are some hard lines that are still down there. That was from this morning's incident. You think this is crazy, right? It sounds like it, but wait until you see that video. This wasn't no celebration, Spark.
A little after 6, it was about 6:50. I was in the office. I get in early, and I heard this horrendous snapping noise, and I thought, what in the world is that?
Chuck Redding's surveillance cameras from his auto shop caught the action in real time.
Oh, man, it snapped that thing like a twig. It just wacko, and that was it. It was gone.
Florida Highway Patrol says the dump truck had its bed up while traveling south on 35th Street North. The truck's bed got caught in the power lines, ripping them off from supporting poles and snapping a pole as well. Redding's Auto Service and Sales thankfully didn't lose power, but the same couldn't be said for JL's Auto Interiors across the street.
Can't really do no work with no power, no lights.
Owner John Lancaster says this is all deja vu.
Probably the 3rd time in a year's time, and taking a wire down, broke the pole, so we're without power.
Property owner Tyler Payne says the problem here?
It's an industrial area, so a lot of trucks coming through pretty often and sometimes just not paying attention to the clearance.
And he has a solution.
It would be great if the utility companies could come in and raise all the lines up.
And Payne says Duke Energy came out and raised its power lines, but there are other utility companies that have power lines in the area, so he's going to contact them. Josh?
Yeah, you wonder what was up with that dump truck. Has FHP been able to locate that dump truck yet?
So, Josh, I reached out to FHP, and officials told me as of right now they haven't.
Must not be that hard to find because that's a big truck, but we'll see what happens. Victoria Lucas live in Pinellas County. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I'm Stacey Schott.
And I'm Josh Benson. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. The new CEO of the Rays making waves with how he's describing the team's current situation.
In a podcast interview, he called the franchise one of the most distressed in professional sports. News Channel 8's Georgia MacArthur is live in downtown Tampa with why this could have an impact on the stadium conversation. Georgia.
Well, Josh and Stacey, this is the first time we are hearing from the CEO of the Tampa Bay Rays in an extended interview, and he is unusually blunt when talking about the team situation. This is also the first time he has set a date on the table in the middle of stalled conversations about the team's timeline.
In North America, at least in my eyes, there's not a professional sports team, Nick, that is in more crisis and has more headwinds than the Tampa Bay Rays.
In a recent episode on the Hunks Talking Junk podcast appearance, Tampa Bay Rays CEO Ken Babby described the franchise as being in serious trouble, citing years of stadium uncertainty and major challenges ahead. Babby pointed to a damaged ballpark, a lack of a long-term home, and a rapidly changing sports business landscape.
Our current ballpark got destroyed by a hurricane. We have no forever future ballpark.
He also put a timeline on what comes next and that it would require more than just a stadium.
We don't have time to waste, right? We intend to open a new ballpark by April of 2029.
According to the Tampa Bay Business Journal, the Hillsborough College District Board of Trustees is expected to hold a special meeting next Tuesday to vote on a deal that would make way for the Rays to turn the college's Northdale Mabry campus into a 110-acre mixed-use district with a new ballpark. Babby said the vision includes a large mixed-use development similar to the Battery in Atlanta and would require a public-private partnership across the region. And coming up at 6, hear from Mayor Jane Castor on what this sense of urgency means for the city of Tampa, as well as the economic impact it has right here in Tampa. Reporting live in Tampa, I'm Georgia MacArthur, 8 on your side.